with their last pick. Could be an AD carry.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Tristana locked in.
I was going to say they need to make sure they get some physical damage into their team composition, but also they picked the AD carry about 90% of their games, but they're already moving quick to topside. Lyra again trying to gank, knowing the ult's down.
Boss uses the shape splitter. Huni trying to get the damage down, but Boss flashes away. Lyra with the first blood, and Anasik going in. Void Seeker chases him down, and Huni can't get away.
And now Lyra's trapped.
Stuck, and with the rest of the Unicorns coming in, Lyra trying to get away, but he's not yet level 6. Nomans jumps forward. That's 2 for the Unicorns.
This could dictate maybe even the rest of the game if there's a big fight.
That's the question. How close will this fight be? Rift Tower picked up. Scotland picked up, and Anasik quite low. Demonte going in. Nomad's having to jump away. Lyra's down to about 300 HP, but he's still got the jump back. Here comes Huni in from the side, trying to take down that Rek'Sai. The rest of the Unicorns are on their way. Boss still pushing in top. Huni going forward. Can't quite catch onto the Rek'Sai.
And now he's over the wall by himself.
Boss going in. Huni no flash. Inax and Edward on their way. The Rift Tower has been started here by Clutch. Huni caught out the pop blossom. It's actually Inax who takes the kill. Rift Tower still the target here for Clutch. I think they get it this time. Unicorns of Love said, okay, Boss, you stay down towards
Eddie,
the
what are you doing?
Edward just face checked straight into them. That was a diabolical mistake. Inax trying to steal this across the wall, won't quite get it. And Anasik going in, but the smite was landed by Lyra. They'll pick up the Rift Herald, and now when Anasik needs to get out of there, Huni's on the other side of the wall. Inax going to try and get some damage down. The knocker comes out, and Huni's quite low. He jumps across the wall.
Rift Herald gives you 2 turret plates guaranteed. If you're going to get 3 by giving up the Rift Herald, it's fine to give it over. In fact, Boss is actually
going for these aggressive plays, but sometimes you're just outstatted by your opponents. Now we'll see Huni going in once again. The parallel convergence isn't going to land onto Boss, but the jump comes forward. Look at the damage from Boss! The tower! Rift Herald tries to take it. Huni's going to go in. Takes a lot of damage. Inax looking for the stun. Can't quite land it, but the rockets will connect. Unicorns take 2. They don't even lose their tower in the top lane. And meanwhile, the rest of them are pushing in amid. Vulcan going in, gets the knock-up. Cody Sun trying to get the damage down. The quickness comes out. Demonte from the side is going to catch onto Edward, who's once again overstayed. Edward flashes away. The damage coming onto Demonte is huge. No man's putting it out. And Anasik there as well. He's ignited. He'll fall. That ends up being a 1-for-1 trade in the mid lane. 3,000 gold in the lead, 2,500. They're going to get the first dragon of the game. It is a Cloud. They have the only Unicorns using the time they have down towards this bottom lane to take their second tower of the game.
They're doing a lot to try and accelerate this gold lead, and I also think about how are they actually going to approach team fights, because they don't have...
We'll be able to burst in pretty rapidly as there's no magic resist yet on the Tristana, and you've got a Hextech Gunblade over the river. The Scuttlecrab has gone down for the Unicorns, but now Clutch are a little bit split. Demonte's down towards the bottom side, and Anasik has the flank position. The knockup's going to land onto Vulcan. Cody Sun pumps the Death Storm to try and get away, but Vulcan's already down. And look at the damage on the Cody Sun. No Man's just deletes him. The rest of Clutch are falling in the pit. There's nowhere for Lyra to go. It's a double for the Unicorns as they clean up Clutch in the river.
And Medic, with how many people they just killed, and the fact that they killed
Baron, as you said, Jet, and now it's all on Clutch to defend, all on Clutch to work a way back into this game, because they are...
I mean, last year, EDG dropped a game in group stage. G2 dropped a game to Supermassive and then had to win a tiebreaker to get first in the group. Gambit, statement in game 1 here at Worlds, and they have all the cards in their hand with Baron and a 6,000 gold lead.
What a statement it would be. Of course, it would relegate...
First phase, the champion, they really made it to Worlds on, and they decided not to pick it, so they're trying like the polished favorite.
A team that almost didn't make it to Worlds as well, and only won their finals 3-2 after struggling early on, and now they're pushing in towards this inhibitor tower. Clutch have to pull a rabbit out of a hat to defend. Huni split pushing on that tier 2 in the bottom lane. The teleport coming in behind them now as Unicorns open up the inhibitor. Looking for the damage.
There will be one more Baron wave if they chose to do so. That would actually be a time for Clutch to try and get a fight.
Edward oversteps, Black Shield comes down, Huni could jump all the way onto the back line. He's going in! Hollow! He's going to take down Edward, but now he's on the back line, has to pop the Zhonya's. He's in the Twilight Shroud and he'll get out. But
did he do that, you know, in the LCK? Yeah. Did he do that in the LEC? No.
It's gone. The inhibitor was saved in the top lane, but Unicorns of Love start up the Baron. They take their second of the game.
And especially as they might be in these extended siege scenarios as they're trying to just land one binding. But Edward again!
Face check straight into Lyra, but... Meanwhile, the rest of the Unicorns were looking down towards that bottom lane. Huni is in the Twilight Shroud, but now he's been spotted out. He's on the wrong side of the map, and the Unicorns are chasing him down. Trying to stampede over Clutch in game 1 of Worlds, and Huni, he's caught out. No Man's jumps forward, Huni goes down, the Unicorns get their 10th kill. Bottom wave, looking for that inhibitor tower. Of course, they've already taken inhib tower in top, but now with the Baron, they're going to open up the base of Clutch once again, pushing in the mid lane as well as that turret is going to fall pretty rapidly. The Unicorns just demolishing the base here of Clutch. Huni still 3 seconds away, where the TP wards, a couple very deep into the jungle of Clutch if Huni wants to try and get behind this team, but instead Clutch are just going to try and defend. 4 players in the bottom lane, 1 in the mid. Boss coming in from the side as well. That's just the shape splitter though. Now, Anasik is going to jump forward down into the GA. Boss has the flash pop blossom. If he can land a tangle bomb, so he can't quite connect. That will be the Infernal as well. Unicorns of Love have had total control over the Dragons this game. 4 of them, 2 Clouds, a Mountain, and an Infernal. The memories of the Pantheon game in game 1, where they just kept going for these engages.
Yeah, the waves are in a spot where Clutch could theoretically get a good flank, but that teleport is so far away.
Damonte's going in. Huni on towards the back line, almost chunked out. Damonte's all the way on the back of this fight, but is it too little too late? They jump in. Inax takes down one answered on the side of Clutch as the damage comes down. Lyra trying to do the damage off towards the side, and Nanasik has fallen. Cody's son is all on you. Damonte tries to heal up, but Boss goes in with a pop blossom, and now 3 members of Clutch are down. It's Cody, it's Lyra trying to defend versus Noman's, Inax, and Boss. Noman's jumps away. Inax maybe overstayed. Huni back up, joins the time, but Lyra's down, and now Noman's can open up, but Huni jumps back. The stopwatch comes out from Noman's, but Huni has the damage. He shuts him down, and Clutch have held on. Inax tries to jump onto Cody's son, but Cody's son is doing what he can. Inax almost falls. Huni goes down towards the top side, and the Unicorns of Love have just held on.
And now Cody is all by himself trying to clear these. If you
damage onto Vulcan, jumps forward, looking for it. Vulcan has to jump away. Busts a shot, not quite enough. He gets hit, but he pops the stopwatch and he manages to survive. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Damonte has been chucked out by the Unicorns, and you have to feel that's it. You have to feel it's done. Unicorns now don't even need the Baron. They can just push in with the super minions.
I think that is what should happen when you're 4-man up in the base and your Akali's in base dealing with all the super minions. So now it will be 5v4 in the base as YOLO tries to win the game.
We'll see if Unicorns are able to close it out here. The pop blossom comes out from Boss. Huni jumping onto Noman's. Quickness comes out as well, but Noman's is able to get away in time, and Anasik down into the GA. Cody. And that is the kill. Inax taking down Lyra. And Anasik rooted up. Cody's son still trying to get the damage in here on the Xayah, but unable to find the connections. The mid lane inhibitors respawned. Bot lane's respawned as well. But the Unicorns of Love can just push in. Now it's a 5v3. Clutch Gaming trying to hold on to some semblance of the game, but the Nexus Towers are the target, and Unicorns will start Worlds off with a bang as they take down Clutch.
Nocturne jungle, it is something Steel played during the summer split, and it will be a nice combo with a flank champion like Echo or not wanting to get all in. Speaking of which, this is really good gang timing from Xerxes.
Hook onto Norscarin though, he's almost dead. Heals up with the Guardian Gang, gonna take a lot of damage here. Doesn't have the flash, he's down. Burst blood to Splice.
Oh, such.
One has his. When we get towards level 6 here for DFM though, that's where they can really start to make plays. Evie gonna try and jump away. The stun, almost gonna connect here from Chachi. Flash forward, there's the stun, and Evie locked up underneath this tower. Xerxes will cull him. Some of his LJL counterparts.
They might be trying to get the kill onto Hecarim here.
Parallel convergence.
He might be able to solo kill him, actually.
I think he just gets him. The smite comes down. One more auto should be enough. Xerxes just about able to survive, and here comes the paranoia. And Ceros jumps underneath the tower. The damage coming back from it. Splice is not enough. The hook's still going to land onto Norscarin, who has to flash away. Here's Humanoid from the backside of the fight. Ceros rooted up, locked down, and the kill comes in for Kabi. Unipon unable to join his team, and Humanoid can still chase. Realm Warp forward. Splice going to take it. 2 members strong. The play from Gang trying to push him away, and here comes Unipon. But the knockup's not quite going to connect. Gang goes down. Humanoid still trailing. Unipon flashing forward. The damage from Splice is huge here, and Unipon has to run away. Kabi landing the feathers one after one after one, and the Blade Caller rips.
Proving Nocturne mid to be a good and viable pick.
Don't say that!
Yes.
Vedius will lose Elo. The paranoia coming out in the mid lane as the parallel convergence connects as well. And just the Cloud Drake here, but DFM able to force them away. So Humanoid, of course, only just respawning means that he wouldn't be in any.
Now it is. Will we see a fight?
Ceros there, Xerxes just around the corner. Parallel convergence coming out, the onslaught of the shadows. The root's going to connect onto Ceros, who pops the paranoia straight away. Norscarin gets the double knockup though, and it's 3v2 in favor of Splice. They take down one. The jump back from Steel with the chrono bake will get him to safety, but Splice were able to react to the play coming out from DFM. Now, Chachi locked up with the wall up. Evie still has the Gnar here. Chachi into the wall. Chachi's just being very greedy here. The slicing Maelstrom comes out, but Evie can still chase it, and when they're winning, they're actually really able to snowball a lead between the 15 and 25 minute.
Yeah, and the normal is closer to where DFM is when compared to what Splice has. If we're trying to give some aid to interpreting these stats, but also looking at the overall goal in this game, it does look like Splyce is going to approach 50 minutes at closer to a 3,000 goal lead, which is actually quite large at this point in the game. But here comes that Nocturne.
Paranoia. Nocturne's coming to get you as he jumps in. Sewa's taken low, though, trying to get on towards the backline. Kobe with the Featherstorm was able to survive. Sewa's so low, the Blade Caller will rip back through him. And here comes the Onslaught Shadow. Steel has to flash away. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, the box came down, but Gang has fallen. The damage coming out from Chachi is humongous. Let's go down towards bot.
To succeed, they have to find some way of getting the Xayah R out before Nocturne jumps in. Because as we see right there, if he goes in...
Relatively even in terms of turret plates, they are 6,000 gold behind. 9 kills, 3 down.
Yeah, Heavy trying to get something going, but really, now it's on Splyce. You just kind of execute the steps towards victory. Rotate their 3-0.
Step 4. Where they struggle is when someone throws a wrench in the works, when someone picks a Nocturne mid and gets ahead. Those sorts of things where we respect, you know, some of the LCK teams who've added a little bit of skirmishing into their style, but they can also look for fights like this. Now, meanwhile, in the mid lane, Kobe just on a rampage. The hook isn't enough. Gang's gonna fall as well, and as you said, it's just Splyce doing it by the numbers here. Xerxes was on the flank, Evie unable to find any sort of connection. And it's too easy for Splyce right now. 7,000 gold ahead, 11 kills to 3 up. They've already broken the tier 2 in the bottom lane. They're looking towards tier 2 mid and the tier 2 top. Evie jumping in, caught out in the slicing mouse jump, and he went just a little bit too deep here. He's going to go into mini just before he falls. It's another kill over to Splyce.
Yeah, this one is looking like it's going to be fast for Splyce on the total spectrum of how you close out games, because that's so that the Nocturnal can't end up getting picks. Or, hey, let's just go in.
Yeah, Noscarian goes in for the engage. Steel's going to pop the chrono break. That was a little bit ambitious, you have to feel. And meanwhile, on the backside of the fight, Humanoid is fleeing. Evie going in. The perfect position here for DFM. And they are sweeping Splyce. A double kill comes out. Chachi trying to go back in. Look at the damage coming back out from Xerxes. Coming on the front line. Now opens up and it turns around. But in a moment there, Detonation Focus Me had hope. They had a glimpse back into this game, but Splyce ripped it out.
Make sure they're collecting as many objectives bot side as possible before they fully set up
a 5v4 if we can. Sewas, of course, has the ultimate still. If Humanoid oversteps...
Yeah, they're going to go for kill and trade the Baron.
Paranoia coming in, Realm Warp is going to be feared, but he still manages to get in it just in time. No flash, no quickness on the Rakan, though, and Evie almost has the Mega Gnar. Hook coming out, Noscarian going to catch out Steel. Kobe 1,000 gold lead after they get this. And you have to think they should just be able to get towards these side lanes and start.
Who he's played on stage, this exact stage, dozens of times.
Here we go, Splyce looking down towards that bottom lane. Righteous Glory was popped there by Humanoid. Xerxes looking for an engage as well if he can find it, but the inhibitor tower's already fallen. Here goes Steel, jumping in. Noscarian answers back. Steel chunked out, manages to jump back with the chrono break. He'll survive for the moment, but Splyce is still very healthy and can just push in towards this bottom lane. There's a minion wave on its way, minions in the mid lane as well that Xerxes is going to go and help out buff up with the Baron buff. But for the moment, Splyce will just try and take one inhibitor. Xerxes can come in from the side. Bot lane inhibitor down to about half HP. Splyce should get this one. Detonation Focus Me, unable to find an engage to answer it. Noscarian going to jump across the wall here onto Vizichachi, and now Splyce rotate towards the mid lane. Second inhibitor tower, their target, Evie. Whoa, Evie almost down. Humanoid flashing in, but Evie goes out. There's the Paranoia coming out. The slicing mouse one's going to connect onto Gang. The Unstoppable also on towards the back line, and here comes the damage. Realm Warp in. It's only Kobe, but he will steal away the kill from Steel. And now Unicorn is in an awful position. Double kill over to Splyce. They take 3. They take the second inhibitor, and they'll be looking for the Nexus.
Yep, still have another minute and 20 seconds on this Baron. They have the teleport on Chachi, who really actually wanted to get back to base so he could teleport on that minion, which ended up being killed. But they were all coming back in here and looking to take their first game at Worlds.
Yeah, still a minute left on the Baron buff. Should be pretty easy here for Splyce. They're going to strike first as they take the damage onto Evie. He almost falls on the fountain. Just give it to him. It's a double for Kobe. The Nexus towers fall, and Splyce strike first in Group B.
And a beautiful first game.
Snowman's has a wealth of options left open. The Corki is his most played this split, but saying that he's played it 4 times and everything else he's played 3 or 2. We've seen NA teams, Cloud9 specifically last year, make it all the way to semi-finals after going through the play-ins. So every region represented here has a big of a challenge, and we'll see if they can make it. Fudge wants it, as you say, but Boss able to flash away, and here comes the Nana.
Bad timing.
Oh, Fudge. Oh, Fudge indeed. He's dead.
Man.
And Addis from him does have the Stalker's Blade. Now can land the smite going forward. Boss coming in from the side as well. Triple's going to have to flash away, but the stun still connects. And the chase is on. The knockback with the scatter of the week. Tanking the towers and Addis, but Triple escapes.
thinking about just the way the lanes are playing out, they're winning mid lane with the Syndra against Noman's Corki as he's trying to scale up. They're actually definitely winning bot lane. They have the shove on Inax basically the whole time. But it's this top lane that's going to be pushed in that UOL is trying to capitalize on. Echo very good at turret diving once he's 6.
Teleport coming in. Fudge still has the flash. Boss trying to put the damage down with the Dominus. And Anasik going forward.
Careful for the ult!
Chrono break back, but Fudge was just at the edge of it, and now Anasik will pay with his life. Triple
So it's a bit of a wash in my opinion.
Oh, Destiny did have to flash away just a moment ago. Here comes the Valkyrie. Edward flashing forward. Triple cord out. Can't get away. The suppression comes down, but that's not going to be enough from Babin. He's going to have to run back towards the tower. Fudge has teleported in as well. He's in the midst of 5 now with the cannon barrage coming down. King jumping forward, trying to get to Inax, who flashes the wall. King flashes after him, though.
Oh.
Will take him down. Now King needs to jump back across. Boston and Anasik on the chase, and Unicorns have won the fight. They destroy Mammoth.
Doesn't want this to stop. Triple's back.
Triple's-
He could go for it.
And Anasik does have the ultimate here. Boss going to look to slice and dice across the wall, but the scatter of the weak hits onto an Anasik. He has to jump back. No man's in there. Boss off towards the side already, and Anasik has fallen. The red dragon of the game. It's an ocean going across towards Mammoth. And they can... looks like Mammoth are looking for a play towards him up to down
He's
towards
flashless.
the front lane. Flashless. Babbitt. Yeah, just yanks him right back into the unleashed power. The dredge line hits as well.
Ooh.
Babbitt almost falls, but Mammoth will take the kill. And
About a half second early and got turret aggro when he didn't have to. Nearly cost him the kill, but he ends up getting away with that one. So he won't be able to stick around for the turret team.
Yeah, I think Anasik should be able to get across here in time, as you say. Triple just backing away. Doesn't want to risk getting caught out, even though they have okay vision in the blue side jungle of the Unicorns of Love. The Rift Herald will put quite a lot of damage down, and
Real close.
almost.
Are they gonna get
it might go down. That's 2 towers for the Unicorn, for Mammoth. So.
Sometimes their side lane control is a little bit weak without being able to take advantage on the other side. You see here, it's like 3 people are down bottom lane, and Mammoth isn't getting any type of turret damage. But if they can get a kill here, maybe they'll turn something into it, and I think they have.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy for them, but Babip isn't even going to burn his impale.
Triple is getting really big in this game as he's able to pick up solo turret gold.
Going to
8,800.
beat who there as well, because the top 2 teams do go through to the knockout stages. Now, Destiny looking for the engagement. Edward, look at the damage coming out from the scan of the week. The jump in from Anasik with a knockback with a buster shot, and now the re-engage coming out. Babbitt flashing forward, and that's a rampage for Triple.
Because they burned all of their ultimates in that last fight. Edward might be going for something.
Hex Splash isn't going to go the way he wanted it
he's
to, and
going
he's
to-
stunned up. He doesn't have the ult. Can't quite hit with a Dark Sphere there, and Fudge just forcing Unicorns
I
back.
think they were wishing they were getting mountains, infernals, or clouds rather than oceans at this exact moment, just because there's not a huge amount of poke during the ocean drakes to try and get to the good ones. In 8 minutes, that infernal will be big, but if they get this shutdown, it's huge.
Lots of damage coming down, and that's the kill. Triple shutdown, no man's will.
But yeah, they're going to try and catch you while they're scouting.
They are Mammoth on the front line. Babbitt's going to pull back Edward. Edward's not in the best of shape, still lands the knock-up. The Unbreakable Will's doing a lot of work, making him very tanky here, but Fudge flashes in. He's exhausted straight away. King takes down Edward, and there come the kills, rattling through one by one. And Anasik is down, and here goes Boss into the middle of the fray, but he will fall as well. It's a double kill, and King is not done. Almost take down No Man's, but the Hex Drinker shield is enough, and now Inax can turn it back around, and King overstayed. Final stand, trying to make the final play. No Man's
Hoping to
going
get in
forward.
for steal.
Hoping for a steal, they don't get it. Mammoth secure it. To then look towards breaking one of these inhibitor towers. The resets will come through.
Their season was successful. They are probably just going to clear.
Decided that they want to pay the Skarner tax. The mid lane tower will fall, and as you say, special delivery of Destiny might be coming in here. Package doesn't get him away. No Man's doesn't click his W, and Mammoth happily accept the kill. And Nanasik's going to jump back in, but he is immediately done for. Edward yanked back into the team, yanked off the Summoner's Rift. It's a double for King. It's too easy for Mammoth. They're pushing in for the win.
Yeah, we said Nomads, well, as long as he doesn't get caught by the Skarner ultimate, they're going to be able to wait out this Baron, but he does, and it looks like Mammoth is going to start this group stage 1-0.
Boss trying to do what he can. Triple splashed in. Inax locked up, and he's going to use the instinct already. Triples down, and now Boss falling down very quickly as well. He gets the double kill. It's on King. He now needs to put the damage in, but Unicorns of Love have been able to defend.
They might hold.
Boss going to heal up. It looks like they might hold, but King is on the Nexus Towers. That Tristana has a huge amount of damage. He's on the second now. Boss and Inax going to step forward, and Mammoth.
Joel is going into River, and it's...
Oh, it's flank on Babbitt.
Yeah.
Is that who you want to knock into your team? Apparently it is. Babbitt gets knocked in. Boss on the front line. Babbitt down to half HP already, and perhaps the flank was next level. 4D chess being played here by Edward. Bottom side. Unicorns of Love.
Oh,
Do they fight it?
King hit a ward, so that revealed him temporarily, and you all know they're on this Baron.
Here we go. Baron being started. Mammoth just turned straight onto Boss. It was a bait. They what was a bait? Mammoth, that was beautiful, and Boss has to slice and dice his way away. Edward in the middle of all the Mammoth now as they try and take the fight, but look at the damage onto a Nanotech. He's done. That's 3. Mammoth with an absolutely beautiful play around vision. You were confused, I was confused, but Mammoth knew exactly what they were doing. They ace Unicorns of Love, and they will not make a 4th mistake today. They are looking for that Nexus.
Surely they kill the Nexus this time.
Yes.
I'm willing to say they're going to kill the Nexus this time, Medic. What a way to end it. Hitting the ward and then immediately pulling off to catch the flank TP from Boss. Sets them off on the right foot for this team fight, and they will win their first game of the play-in stage.
5 years in the making. Mammoth take down Unicorns of
Armor received a couple of nerfs recently. Less interesting, the Rise, but...
This composition is probably the least interesting. It's the class to use the ultimate to get out of the way. He used the flash as well.
Yes! Flashed on
I
the
feel
spot.
like you only needed to use one of those as he dashes around and that steel falling down. First way down with the Realm Warp. They just wander out.
Steel.
Okay, Oddie finds a nice body slam. Steel getting taken down. Solo True Chopper
Again!
Can't dodge it this time. Doesn't have either.
This is where the game really turns on, and Isurus already 2 kills and an Ocean Dragon. This laning phase is only getting better and better. As that hit the 13-minute mark, still looking for the return dive. No cast, but Oddie's in.
Coming down. The quickness was there, but it is not enough. Saros now is going to be the dessert. Can they actually grab it? Slow's going to go down for the good of the colony, and Saya misses the Q. Oh no, it's a disaster. Saros with the outplay under the Avatar of bottom lane, and the fadeaway jump shot. Yeah, he certainly locked that one down. But you have to say that a lot of it had to do with ISGs. We've got another engage. Zenith play towards the bottom
Return.
side. Great grand entrance there as Slow is being caught out, and he ain't going anywhere. Utapon locks down that kill as Rangelis has to get out of there. Arcane Shift utilized, in comes Steel. Phase Dive is there, and he's going to be taken down as well, and Dead FM have come alive.
And the complete turnaround of the map. Yes, Steel will go down, but that was the 5-man commit to the bottom side. They want to make something happen. We are after 14 minutes. 15:30 on the clock means that plating is long gone. Turrets are fairly squishy. And actually looking for the return there. Slow and Warangalis, they were looking for that play. Now Saya in trouble, gets knocked up underneath the turret.
Yeah, it's a disaster. Utapon Isurus Gaming here on this map. And here we go. This is full tank Gnar as well. They've understood that they need to play for these team fights, have some of that front line there and rely on the Ezreal and the Rise damage. But I'm worried that that's going to be enough when it comes to AD, because we were looking at Gnar as being able to augment the Ezreal that's very pokey, not necessarily a large amount of physical damage. All right, we're going to find the barrel. Bugax makes his way in, nowhere near Mega Gnar, and he's underneath the turret right now as Steel gets himself towards it. Oddie goes golden, now still very, very low, but the good sidestep on all those abilities. Evie flashing forward, and now the Kale has joined the game. Bugax finally towards the Mega Gnars. Now they're looking for the turn. Will he get there? No, he'll press the R button and only find the air, and Evie decides to turn on it. Now it's their turn underneath turrets, but Detonation Focus Me won't push too far.
And every single dive is just being turned around by Dead FM. They're just sitting, standing tall. Mid-turret will break. Warangalis finally gets to the play.
But here from Sayer as well as Evie. Could be a gank opportunity. Good boomerang is going to land. Can Bugax actually survive for long enough? But he's got that tanky build. He might just be able to. Ult comes down. Evie. Oh, the layering of CC is beautiful. True Shot Barrage gets rid of the Kale. But now in goes Game. That's a huge knock-up with the grand entrance onto 4 as Utapon has the Feather Storm out, and it is a storm on the top side. Detonation Focus Me have found everyone. Sayer now looking for Steel, and he is going to be able to pick that one up as now Warangalis. Can you actually get the work done? Yes, he can find the kill, but he does eventually get taken down. A beautiful team fight, but a sloppy one on both sides. Dead FM come out ahead.
And just as the clock dinged 20, it looked like a complete wipe, but ISG, Saya and Warangalis keep the dreams alive. If that was a wash, that could have been Baron. That could have almost been lights out. But here, 1v2 still looking.
The tether. Good knock up there from the grand entrance, and Saya knew he was dead.
From afar. Dragon's going to be the easy prize, uncontested here by the Japanese. Like the level 16, very close to being hit. Evie just dinged the level 15 mark. And one of the biggest...
Pressing that R button out of fear, and the cast comes down to really chunk him out of this fight. Gang has to grand enter the underside of his turret, and Isurus,
if they want to play the side lane, that is super useful. And in this game, like, comp-wise, interesting, but Isurus just
the 1-3-1, and that's by having a 4 versus 3 that they can actually add pressure to. with Evie in a side lane that's press an R button as it comes off cooldown every 15 seconds or something like that.
Feels good.
A lot of damage to this objective right now as Realm Warp is going to get Saya around here. The pull off is Steel very, very low, but the quickness dives on in. Geng gets out. The Divine Judgment is going to be there. The hop into the Crush and Bugax is going to be safe for the moment. The re-engage from Slow, but Evie is still like True Shot Barrage is going to take him down to his Guardian Angel, and Warangelis is still at full health. Finally, Udipon finds himself a kill as the resurrection comes through from his GA, and Warangelis finds the extra kills in the back end. This could be it. He's so big, so much lifesteal. Goes down very, very low and isn't going to be taken just yet as the Mantrid Q is going to go just wide. Honey Fruit is delicious and will keep the Ezreal afloat for now as Saya and Slow are looking for Geng and Seros. Detonation folks, they need
Look
to
at
try
the Ocean Dragon. So much
exactly.
HP back.
We keep discounting it, but it's a great Drake. Don't you worry about it. But these Inspires are working out well. That is a decent Zenith Blade. And the last two kills come in. It's a very delayed one, but it's an ace nonetheless.
But Isurus are finally going to make it work. They've been fishing for these team fights for a very long time, and it's actually Dead FM that give it to them. They start up the Baron, and it's a complete wash here. Ace across the board, and now triple Ocean Dragon. They've had complete control of that. Just get chomped. Now the mid lane under pressure.
Come back to life, yeah. Dead FM lose their inner turret as Bugax are going to get slowed by the ultimate out of the Leona. A cask is going to land, but only onto Geng, so it's going to be fine for Dead FM for the moment. Isurus Gaming just getting that poke in off the side of this one. Saya is gigantic. He's got the coolest hat and a pretty sweet book there as well. Thankfully, LS not here to get upset about it. And Molder Reminder is completed from Warangelis, and he's doing about as much damage as he can possibly do.
Heavy though.
At this stage.
Yeah, was looking for the 1v1. Actually forces the Arcane Shift back over the wall, but copped the worst end of the trade. Ezreal now safe, and they have the triple Ocean Dragon looking to knock on the door of the base. Look at the gold grab. That went one way very fast, and now base broken. 38 minutes. This is a long one, but as soon as the Baron was taken here by Isurus, it's continuing forwards.
It's just really impressive play with the composition that shouldn't necessarily be this strong against what Dead FM have at this stage of the game, given just who Kayle is and who the Zyra is. We've got another fight. It's going to break out. Solar Flare is going to go relatively wide as Evie throws down the Judgment and immediately gets destroyed. Warangelis now will just find Mystic Shot after Mystic Shot. Geng is going to be the next one on the chopping block. He's got a big shield, but Warangelis doesn't care. He just murders him underneath his Nexus turret. It's a double kill as a sneaky Mystic Shot flies in. And now it's only Nexus turrets between Isurus Gaming and a Game 1 victory here at Worlds Played.
Still the only member left alive. Nexus turret's going to fall, but that is going to be it. Isurus going to start this one off with a 1-0 scoreline. Very good start to the play-ins here.
Yep, making Jake Spawn Tiberi look a little bit better there on the analyst desk.
Is something that Nocturne does very well, so I think that would be the thought process. But back to it, the Tristana.
The Tristana coming in here.
And dive threat actually coming through. Babip has tempo and is going to face check here.
Oh, the Cocoon is going to go wide though as Babip does find some Umbral Blades, gets himself the fear there as well. Lyra has to flash to get out, nothing to repel. So as Huni dives on in immediately, the flash comes out of Flash. As Fudge has tried to tether him up. A brilliant clutch shield comes out from Fudge to keep his jungler alive, and the volatile Spiderling will get distracted by the minion.
Yeah, but Huni's still sticking around for the play. Lyra, yes, no flash, no HP, but if that channeled recall commits, they do.
Yep, the back does go through there as the Cocoon is flashed. Lyra immediately goes up into the air. Huni now
Huni dead.
He's going to go down. Fudge outplays it. Once again, it's a one.
Just trods on back home, works on his Bork, and is just sitting full HP, and every time that trade happens, Babip doesn't have an ulti of his own either. This is going to be a difficult one, but it looks like the play.
Emperor's Divide is back available once again. Used just there as a Grand Entrance does land. Ignite down onto Fudge there as well.
Oh, Lyra!
Immediately, Lyra flashes over the wall and just destroys him in his... It's a lot of money.
Just picks it all up. Feels good.
Certainly does if you're a Clutch fan, and this is what we were expecting out of this squad. Feels like a bit of an outlier. Their previous match, and also it kind of felt that way as the game was going along.
Press the button twice. First one did not get them a kill. Second one didn't actually go in for the play, I believe, in the mid lane.
You can see, look at that vision line. That is beautiful.
So straight.
I know.
It's just straight down the river.
Knocks down yet another one. He might even just be able to get this one here. As King's going to be very late, and he's not going to be able to wait underneath this turret anyway. A Void Seeker flies in, just triples side. So a couple of items will be there for the damage dealers on Mammoth. So that's a third Ocean Drake.
Two
So,
games, absolutely no tank. Nautilus just does not count. He has 0 gold. Bottom of the tree there. That actually
Triple
lands.
has to flash to get out of the way. Yep, good shot.
Double AD carries in both side lanes, continuing to pressure. This is the first blue buff that Triple has had for a very long time, and he may not even get it.
Yeah, we have the Empress Divide, but the Shockwave's even better. Babip's going to go down. Triple shifts the sands again, trying to escape, but it's not going to work this time. Lyra grabs that kill, and it's 4-1.
Clutch and
7,000 gold is the lead that is only going to extend. Hurricane being able to dive bomb the back line, things like that, but they just wander in and take an Infernal bring that up because, of course, their composition doesn't necessarily lend itself.
Yeah, they don't need
despite
to.
the fact that
It looks like they will. Triple answering topside, so is he not actually here? And he is the wave clear. Clutch just open a mid lane. That turret's just next to dead.
My God, I don't know whether the explosive charge or the one of the first jungle camps that he's taken for himself, as he's not going to get any more. He's going to get sent to the death chamber. The last crit is going to be enough there from down. It's a little bit too high for him to go after Destiny on his Nautilus, but that will spell. The next Dragon probably works out relatively well here for Clutch, who want to be able to split. Yeah, they still want this fight. It's not going to be the Baron going over, but can they find a team fight is the question.
What?
The Baron down the water, that's stolen with a Void Seeker!
Gonna die? Cody Sun's basing in top lane? Oh.
From the Tristana, that's what I want. That's what I'm desperate for. But teleport going to come back into the mid lane. This is the Kaiser, remember, they have to protect this position. Could have been a mistake, but Supercharger gets King out. That was dicey. That was real rough, Bryce. I saw you tensing up there a little bit.
Just for a second. Now they've swapped sides, but every now and again, Hook is on, actually.
He gets at max range. Huge shield comes in as the Paranoia flies forward as well. Babip goes into his stopwatch, but now the Grand Entrance perfectly timed as Lyra
reset on the other side of the map. The Hook landed, but perfectly timed response.
Sorry about technical terms that I keep throwing out for you guys, but that's another one if you read the textbook. Approximately forever sieging. At least until the Elder Drake wears off, so theoretically 2 minutes is going to be the actual response, as Huni should be able to take this one down, but doesn't want to push his luck. Level 18, of course, so he's drawn a few beads so far this game, and that range has been maxed out.
Yes.
Take down 2 inhibitors, and they'll back away. Clutch. It's Huni, yeah, be diving forward. Another defensive Paranoia. Babip's been using these quite effectively, but now we've got Clutch on the correct side to win the game. Enemy Nexus is what you need, not the Baron buff, as Mammoth now have to try and find a way back to their own base. Vulcan looking for it. Huni, of course, looking for it. As he dives on in, we've got another engage coming forward. That's a really great quickness to lock them all up. And King the first to die. That should mean the end of Mammoth. And Huni, that time, was over-aggression that was warranted. That time, he's going to win the game for his team.
Triple,
as Empress Divide is going to come down onto DeMonte. He should be falling here as Triple will get it with the last Q, but in the meantime, we've got 280 carries spending some time with some structures. That's exactly what you want if you're Clutch, and the gatekeeper is Lyra. The Nexus falls down and Clutch are on the board. One and front-to-back composition that is extraordinarily standard, and it will be answered by the Lissandra. Pretty, Audi has to limp away. Oh no.
Disastrous there from Odi. Very nicely timed stutter step. That's a flash.
Gets the passive. Bugax is burning him down. Waiting for another parlay. Can he get there? Needs to stay in range and gets the first blood. Solo kill for the Gangplank top lane.
Can he live from the Jarvan? The ward in the bush barrel will give him some movement speed. Dodges the flag drag.
Yeah, is able to slow him down quite a lot there as well. Gets a flash out of Xerxes. That's definitely good news. As
can he juke it?
I don't think he's
can he juke it? He can juke it!
Gets out the way, flag pops him on the skull. He doesn't want to go for this 1v1.
Yes. Super difficult with LeBlanc in the position she is right now. Saya would be super long rotation away between a pink ward, but actually went in for the play, didn't get the steal.
Yeah, wasn't able to, and another flag is going to come down. Now Humanoid looking for flashes to try and get the chain. Looks to offer some damage back because he can't do anything else, and Norskarin is going to grab
what we've had so far in the last 3 games, and Splice, they're just going to claim it.
That's the maximum amount of Ocean Drakes we could possibly have at this point.
And, no...
6 points, though, from where we're from.
Yeah, not bad. Good choice.
Yeah, easy. As Humanoid, speaking of which, is looking for a very low health Gangplank. This could be a comfortable one. Remember, there's no ultimate available.
Flash?
Decent flash, but...
if he can get into that position, but really not what you expected here. Bot lane, though.
Yeah, that's the flag and drag. Cataclysm comes in there as well as Rangelis does pop the ultimate, gets himself to relative safety, but you can't say the same for Slow. He goes down, Kobe grabs another one. That Q... Yep, and that was picks that they prepared earlier as well, right? This is Splice thinking a few steps
and E-burn.
disaster. Well, speaking of disasters, Rangelis is here, does have the ultimate, is going to use it, but Norskarin knows exactly what's up, and Kobe's going to be
This bot side of the map continuing to be attacked. They get behind Isurus's bot lane.
5,000 gold is the lead here, and Splice are not looking like they're letting up, as there's the flash now into the wall. Chachi's woken up, gets the solo kill.
Then Splice.
Yep.
And if they look super dominant in their group, Isurus, one of the favorites of all the emerging regions, they look strong. They have a good performance.
That's not on brand.
Ooh,
Blind! Speaking of which, that's going to be an ult onto Norskarin as he gets himself out. Oddie down to about half health. The Cataclysm comes in, but already Isurus have got that first kill, traded immediately as Slow does go down. The feathers are retracted and Saya is stunned up as Humanoid trying to get that poke damage in. Vizichachi turns up, but it might be a little bit too late.
Triple Oceans every single game. A pre-20-minute double Infernal Dragon team with the likes was a while away from relevant damage, and Splice just spiking heavily right now.
Yeah, 20 minutes and they just wander up to that outer turret. More recent one, as this one's got some, some other stuff. It's good news. Composition with 3 Infernals.
Yeah.
This is real rough.
It's not often you see the we have to do it, but
I mean the chances of you losing at this stage, with 3 Infernals is real low, and Bugax, he knows that it's going to be really tough. Put in the Cataclysm, Vizichachi, he just wants to get some autos in. Look at that big nut trying to get the work done. He just wanders away. And in the meantime, Kobe's down again. We found a dredge line. How did Bugax survive? That was ridiculous. Humanoid is going to be dead as well, and this might be... Xerxes is alive, so he can get there to try and contest. Say is going to come in with full health, full mana. On this Lissandra, he can ult Xerxes to stop him from getting his smite in range.
Chachi.
Isurus Gaming, they're committing to the Baron by the looks. Wallop is going to go wide, throwing houses into this pit as the quickness bunches them all up. A huge knock-up. It's a bouncy castle in the Baron pit, but Rangelis is off the back. He's off to the side. He's untouched, but now he's not in range to do damage. Bogax, are you going to be okay himself to keep himself alive? But the Baron not going to be able to do that. It's just going to go down, and it's well shielded. Of course, just a standard wizard situation as Isurus now trying to work out where they're going to defend. Bottom lane inner turret, not going to be an option. Inner turret mid lane, also not an option.
Yeah. And the problem, and as soon as Isurus go there, they kind of speed up the play, hit the accelerator, and Splice now with Baron looking to break the base already.
Isurus look like they just don't have any idea of what to do, let alone going for anything. The inhibitor is going to fall without any response from the Latin American team. Bugax down towards the bottom side, wants to get barrels in position for wave clear, but he can't even do that as Vizichachi moving towards, once again, another inhibitor turret. Rangelis looking for some farm here, but it's not going to do it. I mean, stop farming. You need to stop your Nexus from just being passively destroyed by this European squad.
So Oddie lands a Q. Is he going to go for it?
Yeah, Humanoid actually just bouncing over the wall there. Meant enough space was bought in order to lock down that turret. And now they're just going to brute force. Humanoid once again is in. That's the QR combo under Saya down to half health. Cannon Barrage is in now as well, but it's not quite enough. Great knock up. That's going to grab Slow for the first kill. Immediately Saya follows up as Vizichachi gets a huge wallop under too. Rangelis, you can't killer instinct your way out of this one. He goes golden to see the rip for a little while longer without the black and white, but it is going to have to come through. The Nexus turrets are next, and Splice will be 2-0 here at the World's Play-Ins.
And questions were there, but such a...
For first, second, or third, depending on how you look at it, in Group A between Clutch Gaming and the Unicorns. This is alphabetical order. What do you want?
I don't like that.
What would you choose?
I'll put
the
Mammoth
most
on top.
M's?
I would put Mammoth on top for sure.
I think they were handily crushed by Clutch, would you not say?
Oh, absolutely, but I would say they also
Yeah,
had
but I'd say
great
UOL
performance
fairly
versus
handily
UOL.
crushed Clutch.
I mean, what I think about this group is what we saw from Clutch at the beginning of the day was, I believe hubris is a good word, where it felt like that they were just outright better than their opponents, and they could take a lot of liberties in how they approached the game. And Unicorns of Love came in prepared. I think that they drafted quite well for what Clutch threw at them, and I think that they were able to handle what seemed to be like a very high-pace, aggressive style that you expect from Clutch. But something you were telling me in the break room, Jat, was like during the regular season, the reason why Clutch beat so many teams below them was because they didn't play this style. They actually played the slower style, which then worked much better against Mammoth.
Yeah, and DeMonte actually mentioned that in the interview. he gives good interviews where I feel like sometimes he gives away a little bit too much information. He said, like, yeah, we had a bad read on the Worlds meta. We're not going to do Renekton anymore. We're going to pick Scalers against teams we think we're better than. But you really did see it reflected from him as well. Just really quick, the other group is Splice 2-0, all the way down, Isurus 1-1, DFM 0-2. Because this group basically went to chalk with the Pool 1, Pool 2, and Pool 3 teams all beating each other in the correct order, I wanted to touch more on what happened in Group A and what that could possibly mean for the rest of the tournament. Because before the day, we were kind of trying to talk about whether or not the major region teams would just stomp through the groups like they usually do. The only major region team to ever not make it to group stage was actually HKA in 2017.